This is the Union Savings and Loan pregame show brought to you by Union Savings and Loan, Huntersville's hometown bank since 1892. I'm Scott Davidson, joined by Camden Chantel. Cam, as we get ready for the last game of the year, what do you expect out of the Spartans tonight? I
expect a lot of intensity and fire coming right out of the gate from the Spartans tonight. You know, they come into a very good Northeastern team, and Northeastern is 17-4 on the year. You know, they've had a very good year, won the Tri-Eastern Conference, went undefeated. So this isn't a Northeastern team that, you know, they're almost quite used to. This is a very different team this year.
Yeah, you know, Coach Brown mentioned it. It's a really good team. They come in at 18-4. You mentioned it, 8-0 in the conference. They actually beat Delta 44-40. That is a team Connersville fell to earlier in the year. That was the second game we lost to Delta by 2. Should have a really good ball game tonight on our hands to close out what's been an excellent season for the Spartans.
Yeah, they absolutely should. Like you said, an excellent season by the Spartans. Northeastern has also had a good year. This is going to be a very good head-to-head matchup. We've seen it in the JV game. Northeastern brought a trap defense, and that's something that we've seen Connersville struggle with both JV and varsity this year. It's caused a lot of issues, and that's games they ultimately have lost in when a team has brought a trap like that. So I got to be thinking Northeastern is thinking the same thing right now. You know, bring that trap as quick as possible.
Yeah, you know, you talked about that trap. Like Coach Brown said earlier, you know, something that's going to help that is the fact that Connersville had 4 starters, 4 players really, in the double figure for scoring. James, Josh Williams, Lucas Barron, and Braxton Myers all scored 10-plus in the game Saturday night against Lawrenceburg.
Yeah, they all played very well that game. I believe that's the first time this year that they've had all 4 scores, you know, 10-plus this year. All around, very impressive game Saturday.
During the JV halftime, I had a chance to talk to Coach Brown before tonight's game. Let's take a listen into that real quick. Here with Spartans head coach Kerry Brown. Coach, really impressive overall season in the conference. You know, you guys went 7-0, ultimately winning conference. How are you guys going to ride that momentum into tonight, going into sectionals next week?
You're right. It was a really good season, really good performance by our kids to win the conference undefeated. Probably a couple games on there I didn't know if we could get, and our players just did a really good job throughout the year. Tonight's just another game. It's another practice game against a really good quality opponent. I saw something online today that said iron sharpens iron, and I'm sitting here looking at the JV score. It's 15-4, and I expect the same type of performance, effort, intensity out of their varsity against us tonight. So that's going to do nothing but help prepare us for what is a very tough Class 3A sectional.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned iron sharpens iron. This is an 18-4 Northeastern team coming into tonight. How do you guys plan to slow down their shooters tonight?
Well, Mikesel's a really good player, and you know, Trot, you've been around us long enough. We try to get it done through the team concept, so someone will be guarding him, but hopefully we'll make him play in a crowded floor, and other defensive teammates will be aware and help, and then stunt and get back to their man. But the Luby kids are a really good player too, and just like in the JV game, they're fierce, they're hard competitors on the boards, so we've got to limit them to one shot, and then we've got to do a great job of checking out and blocking out, and you're going to see I think the same type of physicality and effort by their kids in the varsity game, so that'll be a real telltale in tonight's varsity game.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned the blockouts. Another key thing, I know we talked about it last week at the game against Lawrenceburg. You guys had 4 double-digit scores in that Lawrenceburg game, and Lucas Barron, Josh Williams, James Williams, and Braxton Myers. You know, I mean, again, how huge is that for this Spartan team?
That's outstanding, and it just makes us that much more difficult to play against. And I think some of that's coming about because there's so much focus on Josh, but our other kids are capable. The night before, Gavin hit 2 threes. And then Saturday night, as you mentioned, we put 4 guys, including Josh, in double figures. And I think that's coming about because of all the attention focused on Josh, but our other guys are capable, very capable.
Coach, besides rebounding and, you know, getting to the free throw line, what are the other keys for tonight's game?
Well, I think we've got to protect the basketball as always, especially playing on the road. And for the most part, I think our kids have done a really good job of that. We've had some really low turnover games. So if we can rebound it, we show up defensively, we take care of the ball. We show up defensively, we take care of the ball. Knock down some shots, obviously, on the huge scores tonight. then I think we'll be okay. But if we don't guard, we don't rebound, these guys might put a thumping on us.
Coach, who's in the lineup tonight?
We'll go with James and Josh Williams, Gavin Pearson, Braxton Myers, and Lucas Barron in the starting lineup tonight.
Coach, good luck tonight. Congratulations on an excellent regular season.
Guys, appreciate you following us and doing the games, and safe trip home tonight.
Back here in Larry Moore Gymnasium, Cam, like Coach Brown said earlier, one of his keys to the game tonight is the Spartans have to rebound the ball well tonight.
Yeah, they absolutely do. You look at the rebounding, and it's exactly the same, 22.9 for both teams coming into this game. And we've seen it a few times this year where the Spartans have got, just have not got defensive rebounds, and the other team has got a lot of offensive rebounds, and that has hurt them. And we've seen it during the JV game. Northeastern is not a team that is afraid to just run in and jump for the ball. Not a whole lot of boxing out, just kind of every man for himself, and I expect that in the varsity game as well.
Yeah, another thing Connersville has to do tonight is they got to stay out of foul trouble. Northeastern had a kid in number 4, Keaton Mikesell, scored 23 points tonight from the free throw stripe.
Yeah, he's shooting 88% on the year from the free throw stripe. This is very impressive, like you said. Put up 17 points from the charity stripe just a few nights ago, and that is something the Spartans cannot afford tonight.
Yeah, on the other side, Spartans offensively have really picked it up as of late. Franklin County, they had 3 scorers in Josh Williams, Braxton Myers, and Lucas Barron in double digits. They turn around the very next night at Lawrenceburg. James Williams throws his name into the bunch with the double-digit scoring. As Coach Brown said, that's been huge for them, especially on teams that have been honing in on Josh. We've talked about it a lot, the face guard. When are they going to go to the face guard of Josh Williams? Well, when you have 3 other guys on this Spartan basketball team that are scoring 10-plus not every night, but they're very well doing it close to every night. It's hard to go out of rotation on one guy.
Yeah, it is. This Spartan team has proved to be consistent this year that when, their main scorer in Josh Williams, who is averaging like 15.5 points per game, when he's having an off night or in foul trouble, there's always 2 or 3 guys that are backing him up in Myers, his twin brother James, or even Lucas Barron as well.
Yeah, you talk about that other guy in Braxton Myers. Braxton may not always score the basketball well. He has as of late. Something else that I would like to point out is his defense. Not only defensively is he an excellent player, it's the way he throws his body out there on the line. Braxton's taken multiple charges. A bunch of those have been in big game scenarios,
right.
Momentum flippers.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. He's even gotten he's got quite a few blocking fouls as well this year, where he's tried to take the charge and ultimately has not got the call. But, like you said, still just sacrificing his body for betterment of the team.
Cam, with that win last Saturday night against Lawrenceburg, Connersville went 7-0 in the conference. That's good enough for first place. The team they beat Saturday night, who they're going to see next Thursday night in the sectional in Lawrenceburg.
Yeah, it is. They played a very well organized game against Lawrenceburg. Like you said, 4 guys had 10-plus points that night. Just overall, a very good game for the Spartans.
With a minute and a half left to go in this pregame show, Cam, let's hear the night starters for both teams.
We'll start off with Northeastern, and it'll be number 1, Carson Terrell, number 4, Keaton Mikesell, number 20, Carson Scarrett, number 40, Grant Lube, and number 50, Caleb Harmon. And then you look over for Connersville, and it's the normal all-senior starting line.
His role in playing that 5th starting spot really, really nicely.
Yeah, Taco Pearson did a great job coming in when he wasn't quite ready for it.
He set to the national anthem. We'll be right back to start this ball game.
Demonstrating good sportsmanship is a responsibility of all of us. Thank you and enjoy the game this evening. At this time, would you please rise, remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Performed tonight under the direction of Tom Chris, the Northeastern Pep Band.
Cam, we got a really good ball game set tonight on our hands.
Yeah, we absolutely do. We talked about it a lot during pregame, I feel like. But this is just, on paper, the teams match up very well. Northeastern comes in this game averaging 55.6 points per game. Connersville comes in 5 points shorter than that at 51.6. Like you said, just on paper, this is just a very good matchup.
You look over at Northeastern's, lineup, they really only have, really 4 or 5 scorers on this team, really 4 or 5 guys that play a lot. You look over at Connersville, it seems like we're at 8 or 9 guys before we hit halftime here at Spartan.
Yeah, you look at Northeastern and it'll be Terrell, Mikesell, Lube, and Harmon for them, all of their bigger scorers. And like you said, Connersville's got quite a few guys that are constantly in the scoring column, 4 or 5. It really just depends on the night.
Yeah, Coach Brown mentioned at the end of the interview, he just wanted to thank all Spartan fans for coming out this year. We look over, we're sitting in the Northeastern side tonight. There's a lot of guys here, but you look over at Connersville's side over there, I see a lot of red here tonight.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of red here tonight. They're taking over basically that whole visitor side and even merging onto the home side. And it's, Coach Brown always says that Connersville travels very, very well.
You look over at some of the team stats this year, and something I want to point out is Josh Williams. Josh didn't start the year out scoring-wise like we thought he would, but he's really picked it up as of late. He's averaging 15.5. You look at second place in the scoring column right now is another senior, number 34, Lucas Barron, at 11.7.
Yeah, and then you look over at Braxton Myers, and Braxton has 10.9, and that's just 3 guys that we always say, if all 3 of them are scoring double digits, it's going to be a good night.
Moments for tip-off, you look over, that's going to be number 34, Lucas Barron, and number 40, Grant Lube, jumping. Spartans control the tip as that is Josh Williams that has the basketball. Josh over to Lucas Barron. Barron over to Gavin Pearson in the corner. Gavin looks inside to Braxton Myers, who tried to go baseline, spun inside, kicked out to Gavin. Gavin over to Josh on the wing. Josh hands it off to Gavin. Gavin swings it across to Myers. Myers looks inside to Josh. Josh puts up a reverse floater. That's no good. Left it short. Weird-looking shot right there by Josh. Either way, it is the Knights on the offensive possession. That is number 1, Carson Terrell, who swings it over to number 20, Carson Scarrett. Scarrett over to Lube. Lube for 3, and he hits it.
Yeah, Northeastern did a very good job of moving the ball around there, getting good ball screens, even screens away from the ball. And, just good offense to start this game for Northeastern.
Josh drives inside. No good. They're going to call a foul on, I believe that is number 20. No, excuse me. That's number 50, Caleb Harmon. That's going to be his team's first of the half.
Yeah, Spartan coaches are yelling something.
They believe it should be a shooting foul, and they are going to switch it to a shooting foul. Good job right there by the officials to get together and get that call right.
Yeah, Josh comes into this game shooting the free throw at 82%.
He's been one of your guys all year that you've wanted at the stripe. His first one's up and good. He's got his first point of the night.
Yeah, I think he's leading the Spartans this year when it comes to free throw shooting percentage for most attempts and most makes at least.
Josh misses his second one short. That is Harmon with the rebound. He kicks it out. It's going to be number 4, Keaton Mikesell swings it over to Lube. Lube back up top to, that's Scarrett. Scarrett over to Lube. Lube takes another one from behind the arc. It's no good. Left it short that time. Rebound by the Spartans and Gavin Pearson. Good rebound right there by Pearson to fly in there and grab that loose ball before the Knights had an opportunity at a second shot. Gavin has it. He swings it over to Josh. Josh swings it over to Gavin. Gavin takes a deep wing 3, and he gets it to go.
Yeah, good look there by Gavin Pearson. He's been shooting the ball pretty well this year. I feel like he's one of those guys that if he's open, he's always going to have a good shot at making it.
That was Harmon from 3. It's no good. Northeastern has 3 offensive opportunities. They've taken 3 threes. They are 1 for 3. You like to see that if you're a Spartan fan, as we have a whistle, and I believe they're going to call that on number 40, Grant Lube. If so, that'll be his first, team's second. Yep.
Yeah, that's his first, team's second. As you see a couple different guys check in here for Northeastern.
We got number 12, Michael Henry.
And Day Lundy, number 3.
Pearson throws a backcourt pass over to Braxton Myers, and Myers will be taking the ball off the floor. That is Josh Williams that has the basketball now. He throws it over to Barron. Barron dribbles to top of the key and swings it over to Josh. Josh looks inside to Myers. Myers gets it poked away, has it, gets it right back. As he passes out to Josh. Josh, a really deep 3, and he hits it. Really good shot right there by Josh Williams as he has 4 of the Spartans' first 7. You see Lundy have it almost taken away from him. That is Terrell that has it now. He swings it over to Mike Sill. Mike Sill dribbles it back to reset the offense. Lundy has it in the corner. He's going to pass it over to Mike Sill. Mike Sill drives inside, kicks over to Lundy. Lundy takes the top of the key 3. It's no good. He missed it left. Rebound by Braxton Myers.
Yeah, something I want to point out is Carnesville comes into this game shooting the 3 to 34% as James Williams makes the bucket. Give him 2 on the night. But like I was saying, Carnesville comes into this game shooting 34% from beyond the arc, and Northeastern comes into this game shooting 35%. So it could come down to an all-out shootout from behind the arc.
Henry had it. He gave it up to Mike Sill. Mike Sill back over to Henry. Henry over to Lube. Lube back over to Mike Sill on the wing. Lundy now has it up top, throws it over to Lube. Lube looks inside to Terrell. Terrell pump fake 1, gets it up and to go over James Williams. Make that 2 tonight for him as the Knights cut that Spartan lead back down to 4. A little over 4.5 left to play in this first quarter. The Spartans are up 9-5. You see Gavin Pearson has it on the wing, back up top to Josh Williams. Josh over to Barron.
Yeah, that was a quick 9-0 run. The Spartans would win on to start this game. Northeastern ultimately put it to an end there.
Good find right there by Lucas Barron to find James Williams down there on the block. That is James' 4th point. Really good job right there by Barron to find Williams on down low on the block. Mike Sell has it. He kicks it over to Lundy. Lundy back up top to Mike Sells. We're going to see a whistle. And that's going to be on number 34, Lucas Barron on the hold. That's going to be Barron's team's first of the half. Checking back into this ball game is going to be number 50, Caleb Harmon, number 20, Carson Scarrett, and then number 3, Day Lundy is going to come back into this one after a short rest. Lundy's taking it out. He throws it over to Scarrett. Scarrett dribbling around the top, gives it to Mike Sell. Mike Sell averaging 13 points per game. You know, you look over, he doesn't have anything right now. You got to think Northeastern wants to get him going as he went up for it. And that's going to be another foul on number 34, Lucas Barron. He picks 2 quick ones up. As you look over there and see Coach Brown is not happy right now.
No, with that being Barron's second, you expect somebody like Taco Pearson or Blaine Hornsby to come ahead and check into this game for him. Actually, they actually called that on James Williams. That was not on Lucas Barron. That is James's first.
Either way, you see Taco Pearson checking in for James Williams right there. You know, we said how deep this Spartan bench was. Looks like they didn't get to it a little earlier than normal in this one. Mike Sill's free throw is up and good. He got both of them to go. He now has 2 points tonight. As you see, like we mentioned in pregame, that JV trap that they had as Josh Williams got fouled. That one's going to be on number 40, Grant Lube. That is going to be Lube's second foul, team's third.
Yeah, very good job there by the Spartans to draw the foul. That's something that they are going to have to continue to do in this game, especially if that trap keeps up.
Number 1, Carson Terrell just checked in for Lube. As you see Josh Williams out in the corner, he gets trapped, throws it over to Gavin. Gavin finds Taco on the wing. Taco back up top to Gavin. Gavin has it. He's guarded heavily by number 4, Mike Sell. He finds Josh over in the corner. Josh drives inside, kicks it over to Gavin. Gavin's wing 3 is up. It's no good. He left it short. Gavin's 1 for 2 from the 3-point line tonight. And they're going to call a loose ball foul on number 32, Braxton Myers. That's going to be Myers' first foul, team's third of the half.
Yeah, Myers clearly not very happy with that call there. One I missed, not sure exactly what happened there.
It's a loose foul. They said Braxton Myers went over top of the Knights player.
For the foul, that'll be on number 5, Taco Pearson, I believe. Yep, that's his first, team's fourth. Spartans find themselves, both teams really find themselves in, quite a bit of fouls already to start this game.
During that foul timeout, number 10, Landon Scarrett checked into the ball game. You see him have it now. Landon has it. He's going to try to dribble inside, pick up his dribble, a little up and under move from about 7 foot. No good. Rebound by Josh. Josh had it poked away. Landon up with it again, and he gets that time to go. Landon Scarrett has 2 points tonight. As you see that trap happen again, Braxton Myers gets it poked away, and they're going to say he was fouled by, it's either going to be on number 10, Landon Scarrett, or number 20, Carson Scarrett. They're going to call it one on number 10, Landon. That's going to be Landon's first foul of the night, team's fourth. Josh Williams to inbound it. He finds Lucas Barron, who gives it right back to Josh. Josh back to Lucas. They get it across the timeline pretty easily that time. Lucas drives inside, a little up and under. He does not get it to go. Rebound by Harmon. He gives it up to Landon. Landon pushing the pressure. He hands it back over to Harmon. Harmon over to Lundy. Lundy. And we're going to see Braxton Myers right there try to take another charge. Instead, that's going to be a blocking foul. Good job right there by number 1, Carson Terrell, to take it to the rack, drive baseline, and ultimately get Braxton Myers his first foul of the night.
That is a correction. That is Braxton Myers' second foul of the night. That's team's fifth. Finds himself in foul trouble already.
Blaine Hornsby is in the ball game for the Spartans. We talked about it. They have 7 or 8 guys really in the first quarter. With still 2.5 minutes left to play in this first quarter. The Spartans already have 7 guys out there on the floor. We're going to have a 30-second timeout called by the Northeastern Knights. Cam, really good job after Northeastern jumped out to that 5-0 run to come on an 11-4 run to make the score 11-9 with 2 minutes and 28 seconds left to go in this first quarter.
Yeah, it feels like Northeastern has finally, kind of found their feet in this game. It started off with a quick 9-0 run from Connorsville, making the 9-3 game. The Knights have crawled their way back into this one, finding their feeding on the offensive side and really the defensive side of the ball as well.
If you're Coach Brown here, obviously that trap really had gotten to you. If it wouldn't have been for the foul, they probably would have turned it over there in the corner when Braxton Myers had it. Right. If you're Coach Brown, what are you going to tell the guys about that trap?
Just, that's something I know Coach Brown practices a lot. So you just slow down, and, they know how to beat it. It's just really playing at your own pace and not getting sped up.
Terrell has it. He throws it up to Landon. Landon guarded by Josh. He throws it across to, that was number 12, Michael Henry, that threw that one out of bounds. It's going to be Spartan basketball.
Yeah, good defensive pressure there from the Spartans. Forced an unnecessary turnover from the Knights.
Now you see Northeastern come with a little bit of a half-court trap here as they try to trap Josh Williams and Gavin Pearson, really. Spartans kind of just playing keep away right now as they find Taco Pearson. They try to look inside to James Williams. They got it stolen. James diving deflect drill, gets it away from number 10, Landon Scarrett, as Josh Williams comes up with the basketball.
Yeah, this is that same trap we saw in the JV game that played successful. That is another turnover for Connorsville. Make that 3 already.
Hornsby with a bad pass right there. Tried to find Josh Williams up top. Ultimately got it stolen away from the Knights. As you see, Lucas Barron set to check back into this ball game with 2 fouls. It is Mike Sell who throws over to Landon. Landon in the corner to Henry. Henry drives inside, gets a paint touch, throws it back over to number 50, Caleb Harmon. Harmon puts up a shot, no good. Rebound by Terrell. Terrell kicks it over to Mike Sell. Mike Sell to Landon. Landon with a shot fake, and he's just going to dribble it out and reset the offense for the Northeastern Knights. He throws it over to Henry. Henry has it back up top to Harmon. Harmon on the wing over to Landon. Landon looks inside to Mike Sell. Mike Sell back over to Harmon on the wing. Harmon back up top to Mike Sell across the wing to Landon. Landon back up to Henry, over to Mikesell. Mikesell takes a heavily contested three. It's no good.
They're called push,
Yep, they're going to call number 50, Caleb Harmon, on the push on Josh Williams. It's going to be Spartan basketball, and I believe that's going to be Caleb Harmon's second foul of the night.
Yeah, that'll be Harmon's second, team's fifth. Both teams now have 5 fouls apiece.
See number 44, Sam White, check into this ball game for Northeastern. And number 3, Day Lundy, checks back into it.
There's that, full court pressure again from the Knights.
Josh Williams finds Gavin Pearson on the inside of the C-cut. He takes it coast to coast, gives it up to Barron. Barron floater, no good. Ball loose. Rebound by Landon Scarrett. Scarrett's going to bring it up. He's going to push it up to Mikesell. Mikesell back over to Landon. Landon up top to Terrell. Terrell back over to Landon on the wing. Landon throws it over to Lundy. Lundy back up to Mikesell. 24 seconds left to play in this first quarter. You got to think Northeastern's going to hold it for one last shot.
Yeah, I would assume they are. As you see them, what appears to be setting up some kind of corner 3 shot.
Mikesell has it. He's going to drive inside. He's going to look down to Terrell. Terrell taking a lot of time down there. He throws one up, does not get it to go. Rebound by Lucas Barron. Barron, 3-quarter shot. It's no good. Wide right. And at the end of one, the Spartans find themselves up to 11-9. Cam, started out hot early on this game for Northeastern. Really good job by Connorsville and Coach Brown to come back and answer offensively.
Yeah, very good job so far in this game for Connorsville. And Northeastern hasn't had a bad game either. Looked like they were kind of stumbling over themselves early. But, they found their feet early on. And, it's paying off now. Brought it back to a 2-point game. And they seem more controlled now, but that trap, it's really speeding up the Spartans.
Yeah, let's take a little look at the upcoming games for Connorsville. Connorsville's next game, of course, this is the last regular season game tonight. Their next game will be March 1st. That is sectionals. That is played at Greensburg. Connorsville drew Lawrenceburg, which they just beat last Saturday night at the Bowl in the first round. Unfortunately, sectionals, we are not allowed to be on call. So buy your tickets, go out, support them. Games are at Greensburg. I know Coach Brown and this Spartan team would be very grateful to see a lot of red in Greensburg.
Yeah, and they're going to need it, Lawrenceburg is definitely going to be a tough first-round matchup. They're definitely still thinking about what happened last Saturday night at the Bowl. And then, if they win that, it's either, I think, South Dearborn or Greensburg after that, and both of those teams are very solid as well.
Yes, they are, especially Greensburg coming into this tournament at home. It's a little bit of an advantage.
Right.
2 years ago, Connorsville beat Greensburg at Greensburg for the sectional title. Last year, of course, Greensburg coming into Connorsville and beating them at Connorsville. Mikesell has it. He's going to throw it over to Terrell. Terrell back over to Mikesell. Mikesell has it back over to Lundy. Lundy on the wing. Lundy up the top of the key, throws it over to Carson. Carson in the corner to Lundy. Lundy gets a ball screen. He's going to dribble it, try to go baseline, picks up his dribble, throws it back out to, that is Carson. Carson throws it over to Mikesell. Mikesell over to Lundy, back up to Mikesell. Mikesell over to Carson. Carson has it, he's going to try to throw it inside to Terrell. That ball's stolen by Josh Williams. He's going to throw it up to James Williams. James passes it back to Gavin Pearson, who gives it back up to Josh Williams as the Spartans bring it across the timeline. Josh looks inside to James. James going up against 2 defenders up with that left hand. He gets it to go. James now has 6 points tonight as the Spartans grow that lead to 4.
Yeah, James is having himself a very good game so far to start the night. He had, double digits the other night. If you see Mikesell makes a 3, give him 5 on the night.
Good shot right there by Mikesell. He's averaging 13 a game. If you're Connorsville, you'd like to see him stay on the lower side of that 13. It could be dangerous. We saw it, especially at Shelbyville. They had their score in Sandman. Connorsville could not find a way to stop him, ultimately ending in a loss. As you see Lucas Barron go up and get blocked. And they're going to have a whistle called on, I believe. That's Barron.
That'll be Barron's second if that is the case.
It looks like things got a little chippy down there between Lucas Barron and Carson Terrell. Barron immediately coming off the floor. in replace of him will be number 23, Blaine Hornsby.
Yeah, that was Barron's second, team 6 of the first half of this game. One more foul against the Spartans, and Northeastern will be shooting the free throw. You see, that's another steal for the Spartans. Maybe.
Loose ball right there, and it looks like we're going to have a tie-up. Yep, it's going to be the jump ball.
It'll be
It's going to be, I believe, should be Connersville basketball. Yep. We don't have an arrow on the, on the scoreboard. It is going to be Connersville basketball with 6 minutes and 2 seconds left to play in this first half.
Yeah, this game has definitely got aggressive so far. We've seen it get chippy a few times, and already in this game, not even the second half yet.
As Gavin, who has the basketball right now, he's going to dribble to the top of the key. He's going to try to get it inside to James Williams. It looks like we're going to have a foul called on it's going to be on number 44, Sam White. That's going to be White's first, team 6th of the half. One more for both of these teams, and they will be shooting the one-on-one free throw. Of course, we talked about it. Mike Sill had 23 the other night, 17 of those coming from the free throw. As we see Josh Williams shoot another 3, he gets it to go. He now has 7 on the night. He's had himself a night as well tonight. It is Lundy that has it. He throws it back up to Mike Sill. Mike Sill over to Carson. Carson back up top to Mike Sill. Over to Carson on the wing. He's going to throw it over to White. White back up to Terrell, over to Lundy. Over to Mike Sill. Mike Sill takes a moving 3. No good. It hit every part of the rim. Rebound by Josh Williams. Josh is going to push it. He's going to pull it back out. Crossover, drive baseline. A little up and under. It hit. They went actually behind the backboard. It's going to be Northeastern basketball, as we see number 50 and number 40, Grant Lube and Caleb Harmon, check back into this ballgame for the Knights.
Yeah, it definitely got aggressive down there. Kind of expected a foul, a shooting foul, but ultimately didn't get one.
Mike Sill has it. He's going to look inside to Terrell. Terrell lost it, got it back. He's going to dribble inside, kick it over to Lube. Lube, corner 3, no good. Left it short. Rebound by Carson. Carson has it, throws it up to Mike Sill. Mike Sill back over to Carson. Over to Mike Sill. Mike Sill back over to Carson. Carson over to Harmon. Harmon 3, no good. Rebound by Lube. Lube's in the inside. He shoots it stripped away by James Williams. James throws it over to Gavin. Gavin back over to James. He lost a handle on it. It's going to say it went off of either number 4 or number 20. It's going to remain Spartan basketball with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in this first half. Gavin Pearson will be inbounding the basketball. He throws it over to Josh Williams. Josh hands it off to Gavin. Gavin has it, throws it over to Taco, back up top to Gavin. Gavin back over to Taco, looks over to Josh in the corner. Josh back up to Taco. Taco has it across to Gavin. Gavin has it on the deep wing, looks inside to James. James backs down his defender, kicks it over to Gavin. Gavin drives inside, pump fakes, puts one up, does not get it to go. He left it short. Rebound by Mike Sill. Mike Sill kicks it up to Carson. Carson stops and just throws one up, and he's going to say he was fouled by Josh Williams.
Yeah, that'll be Josh's first, team 7th. That was a shooting foul, but it will put Northeastern in the bonus, 1-1 from here on out.
That is going to be number 20, Carson Scarrett, at the free throw line. He averages 3.6 points per game. He's also a 78% free throw shooter.
See a bunch of different guys check in here for the Knights.
Looks like that is number 44, Sam White, number 10, Landon Scarrett. Both checking into the ballgame for Northeastern.
Oh, they're going to call that on the floor. Okay, well, they're going to call that on the floor. Either way, a 1-on-1 opportunity here for Northeastern.
He left it short right there. James Williams with a good save. He throws it back into Josh. As Josh brings it across the timeline, he gets it swiped away by Carson Scarrett. As we see, I believe that is number 4, Keaton Mikesell, who checks back into this ball game.
That's something I've noticed about Northeastern is they're doing a lot of switching. They've had a lot of guys come in and check into this game off the bench, and they're getting a really good rotation in right now.
Josh Hassity throws it back up top to James. James over to Gavin in the corner. Gavin back up top to Josh. Looks like Josh is going to call for a ball screen but reject it. He's going to throw it to Blaine. Hornsby back over to Josh. Josh trying to find his brother inside to James. As you see James get fouled, Josh is down there fired up. You know, crowd has a big impact on this one. Good to see the Spartans and how they're reacting to that run early on in the game. And so far they haven't looked back ever since they got in that lead. It's been a pretty good game. Spartans are up 4, 16-12. Awaiting James's free throw here. He gets it to go, make that 17-12.
Yeah, James comes into this game shooting the free throw 40%. He's kind of struggled this year, but I want to point out that is White's second foul, team 7th. So both teams will be shooting the bonus from here on out. Right now, both just in the 1-on-1.
Checking back into this ball game is number 40, Grant Lube, number 50, Caleb Harmon for the Northeastern Knights. Like you said earlier, a lot of switching and subbing so far into this one. James Williams, second free throws up and good. He now has 8 tonight. Mike's bringing it across the floor. He gave it up to number 10. Landon over to Lundy. Lundy over to Harmon. Harmon inside to Lundy. He put up a shot. No good. Rebound by Josh Williams. And it looks like the Knights are just going to pull that press back. Josh Williams has it. He's going to throw it over to Gavin. Gavin inside to James. James backing Harmon down. He got triple teamed. Throws over to Taco. Taco regathered in the corner and threw it back up to Josh as we see Cody Naylor checking into this ball game with the next whistle.
Yeah, a lot of bodies flying around down low. They're going to call a charge. That'll be Josh's second foul. Team's 8.
Good drive right there by Josh Williams. Either way, you know, I mean, he found a way to split 2 defenders, get in the lane. Just happened Northeastern had a guy down there waiting on him. Good defensive play by Northeastern, though.
Yeah, it was. It was a very good heads-up defensive play by Northeastern. As you see Jaden Peterson and Cody Naylor check into this game.
The Spartans now checking what would be 9 into this ball game, and we're not even to halftime yet. Really deep bench from both teams tonight. Mike So drove about 15 feet, kick it out to Lundy. Lundy had it wide open on the 3. He's going to throw it down to Lube. Lube up from the block, and he gets it to go. Lube now has 5 tonight as Northeastern pulls this back to a 4-point ball game. Gavin brings it across the timeline. He's getting double teamed. He threw over to Peterson. Peterson inside to Naylor. Naylor kicks it back out to Gavin. Gavin's top of the key 3 is good. Gavin now has 6 tonight. A couple big threes from him to press this lead back to 7.
He's 2 for 3 from the 3-point line right now.
Shooting it really well as of late, as you see Landon go up with a 3, no good. Rebound by Peterson. Peterson kicks it out to Naylor. Naylor's going to hand it back off to Gavin. You know, Coach Brown mentioned it in the interview earlier. Gavin knocked a couple big threes down at Franklin County, you know, doing the same thing here in Northeastern.
Yeah, he is. He's one of them guys that if you leave too wide open, he'll get you every time.
Gavin over to Peterson. Peterson's corner 3 up and good. Good shot right there by the sophomore. He has 3 points tonight. Good to see him getting some quality minutes in this game. And we have another whistle down low. I believe they're going to call, that's number 23, Blaine Hornsby.
Yeah, they're not happy about that call, and rightfully so. You know, that looked like that was mostly number 40, Lube, on that one, but ultimately called the foul on Hornsby. That is Hornsby's first, team's 9th.
Coach Brown down there asking for an explanation. Lube goes up with it. He gets it to go. He now has 6 points tonight, a chance to make it 7 with this next free throw.
Yeah,
Spartan's got to be careful with one more foul. They're in the double bonus here.
Yeah, Spartan fans are not happy.
Lube up, no good. Left it short. Rebound by Peterson. Couple big rebounds right here by the sophomore. He gives it over to Gavin Pearson. Gavin gets it across the timeline. He gives it over to Peterson. Looks like Peterson tried to get it over to Taco. Taco curl screened it. And they're going to say that was tipped.
Yep.
Knights fans not happy about that call, as it is getting loud over here. We're on the Northeastern sideline. They're not happy about this one.
Yeah, definitely not happy about that one at all. Yeah, I don't know.
Looks like the Spartans might have got bailed out right there out of a turnover. Either way, it's going to remain Spartan basketball. Gavin Pearson ends up with it across the timeline. There is 56 seconds left until halftime. The Spartans find themselves up 9, 24-15. Taco Hassady throws over to Peterson. Peterson back up to Gavin.
They're going to call
hard
foul
battle down there
one,
on the block between number 1, Carson Terrell, and number 23, Blaine Hornsby. They are going to get Terrell on that one. That's going to be Terrell's first, team's 8th, as Hornsby has a one-on-one opportunity, as we also see number 42, James Williams, checking back into this ball game for number 14, Cody Naylor.
Yeah, Hornsby is shooting 50% from the free throw line this year.
Awaiting his one-on-one opportunity. His first one's up, no good. It hit every part of the rim. Rebound by Terrell. Terrell has it. He's going to throw it over to Mikesell. Mikesell full court press to Henry. Henry back over to Mikesell. Mikesell across the key to Lundy. Lundy has it on the wing. He brings it back up top. He's going to throw it back over to Mikesell. Mikesell's going to reset the offense. You know, it looks like Northeastern's going to hold for one final shot. We're coming up on 15 seconds left to go in this half. Mikesell dribbles over to the wing. He's going to throw it. Look inside to Terrell. Terrell got bumped right there. It looked like he might have walked. Either way, he went up and under and got the 2 to go. As Gavin Pearson throws a full court pass. It's no good. And we have reached halftime. At halftime, your score is 24-17. We'll be right back in 60 seconds to recap this first half. Cam, you know, really good job right there by the Spartans. You know, it looked like Northeastern was going to make a little run right there, but, you know, the 3 by Peterson really put them in a position to control this lead going into halftime.
Yeah, the 3 by Peterson and the 3 by number 10, Gavin Pearson, you know, really separated this game. It appeared that was a quick 6 points for the Spartans that, you know, separated this from a, you know, a 2-point game to what is it now, a 7-point game. So very good job by the guys coming to step in, and Naylor, Hornsby, and Peterson. You know, they all played their roles and they all played them well.
Yeah, you know, something I want to point out is, you know, the fouls might have been a little on the high end for both teams, but the turnovers were on the low end. You know, Northeastern has 4 turnovers through that first half, and Connersville only has 3. Really clean basketball being played by both squads here tonight.
Yeah, it is. You know, a little bit of foul trouble, like you said. Both teams found themselves, you know, I believe Northeastern was at 8, and Northeastern was at 8, and Connersville was at 9 foul-wise, and, you know, that could cause some trouble real fast.
Look over at this Northeastern squad. You know, we mentioned it. They were 8-0. They won the Tri-Eastern Conference this year. They are 9-3 at home, riding a 3-game win streak coming into this one. You know, another game that we referenced to in the pregame show was they actually beat Delta 44-40, something Connersville couldn't do. We fell to Delta at Delta by 3. You know, the story of that game was the turnover and the missed free throws. But we just mentioned it a minute ago. Connersville's done really good job at keeping the turnovers on the low end, and they've been making their free throws as of late too.
Yeah, they have. They've definitely turned their free throw shooting around. They're now shooting at 71% as a team. There for a while, I feel like they were high 50s, low 60s, and I mean that's a real big turnaround for, you know, just a few months.
So look over there. They are honoring Northeastern's state champion wrestler. Congratulations to him. You know, you look over at Connersville, we just mentioned Northeastern's record. Connersville's 17-4. They are 8-0. They did finish first in the EIAC conference. They are 5-2 on the road, riding a 5-game win streak into this one. They are currently coming in at number 7 in 3A.
Yeah, number 7 in 3A. Very impressive right now for the Spartans. Are on a big couple wins, or coming off of a couple big wins. Going into the sectional, I'd say they're pretty hot right now.
Yeah, you know, they're getting hot at the right time. Something else I'm looking down here, we have in our paper, Connersville shooting 34% from behind the arc today, you know, or excuse me, on the year. Tonight it's been Gavin Pearson with a couple. Jaden Peterson knocked down a big one in the corner, and Josh Williams also has 2 threes tonight that I can remember. Connersville shooting it really well tonight from behind the arc.
They are. You know, that's something that really needs to get good here right around the end of the year. That's going to help them carry on their success into the sectional and the regional and passed on them. You know, I think they're very capable of, you know, continuing on past the regional and to see what that brings as well.
Yeah, you know, Coach Brown in that interview before the game mentioned one of the keys to tonight's victory would be the rebound. You know, Connersville's rebounded it okay in this game. You know, there's been a couple second chance opportunities for Northeastern. You know, that's got to be a part of the message at that halftime speech right now in that Connersville locker room. And then, you know, another thing they got to be saying is you got to get more paint touches. You know,
right.
I mean, you're shooting it well from behind the arc, but I mean, how long can you sustain that?
Right.
Connersville's only shooting 34% from the line or from behind the arc this year. You know, the way the numbers are going right now, they're about to hit a huge drop off if the stats don't lie.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They just got to keep doing what they're doing, I guess. Into the sectional, just got to stay hot, keep rolling, and you know, the Spartan team will be A-okay.
6 minutes left to go in this halftime score. The Spartans find themselves up 24-17. Cam, can we get the halftime scoring for the night's game?
Yeah, we'll start off with Northeastern, and leading the way was Alud with 6, Mike Sell with 5, Terrell with 4, and Landon Scarrett with 2. And then we'll jump over to Connersville, and leading the way is James Williams with 8, his brother Josh Williams with 7, Gavin Pearson with 6, and Jaden Peterson with 3.
That is your halftime scoring, rounding it out to 24-17 with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left still in this halftime show. Cam, we mentioned it a little in pregame, the full court press that we saw in the JV game. Yeah, it did. I mean, it really did, speed up the Spartans. It caused a couple turnovers, but it also kind of got Northeastern in foul trouble.
Yeah, it did. You know, Northeastern now has 8 fouls so far. Connersville have 9, like we said. Both teams in a lot of foul trouble to start this game.
With 4 minutes and 45 seconds left before we start this third quarter, we will be right back, we'll be back to start this third quarter play.
See who it is. Chelsea Wine.
Back here in Larry Moore Gymnasium to start this third quarter, Cam. Spartans are up 7, 24-17. Really good first half by them.
Yeah, it was. It was a very good first half by the Spartans, as you see number 20.
That is number 20, Carson Scarrett, that starts this second half off with a bang. He has 3 points tonight, and he pulls this game back to 4 at 24-20 in the advantage of the Connersville Spartans. Number 24, Josh Williams has it, drives baseline, dishes it out to James. James just didn't catch it. That was number 50, Caleb Harmon, that swung it over. Mikesell has it, swings it back over to Harmon. Harmon shot fake, dribble, or passes it over to number 20, Carson Scarrett. Lube had it, he threw it inside to Terrell. Terrell back over to Lube, up top to Mikesell. Mikesell resets the offense. He throws it over to number 40, Grant Lube. Lube has it, throws it back over to, Carson. Carson inside to Terrell. Terrell kicks it out. I believe that's Harmon who missed long. Rebound right there by the Knights. Another offensive rebound, another second chance. Something Coach Brown mentioned that the Spartans had to eliminate if they wanted a chance to win this one tonight.
Yeah, that's something we talked about in the pregame, is eliminating the second chances, and that's something the Spartans just have not done greatly tonight.
Good cut right there by Carson Scarrett. He missed the layup. Another offensive rebound by the Knights. Luckily, it was put up and missed. Josh Williams has it, drives inside, kicks it over to Myers. Myers shot fake, 2-dribble pull up. Actually, he tried to get it down there to James Williams. James just didn't catch it again that time. Ball went out of bounds. It's going to be Northeastern basketball as we see number 3, Day Lundy, check back into this one.
Yeah, Spartans seem to be bringing some pressure into the backcourt. Some kind of, not really a press, just some pressure.
That is number 4, Keaton Mikesell, that has it. He's going to throw it over to Lundy. Lundy inside to Terrell. Terrell drove baseline, and they're going to call number 42, James Williams, with the foul.
That'll be James's second. Team's first of the half.
Lundy has it under the basket. He throws it. That's intercepted by Braxton Myers. Braxton going to dribble it, spin, pump fake, goes up with it and gets the foul called. That one's going to be on number 3, Day Lundy. That's going to be on number 1, Carson Terrell. That's going to be Terrell's team's second of the half. Myers up, left it short. He has one more coming. Myers is a 74% free throw shooter. He gets his second one to go. He now has his first point of the ball game, and that stretches this lead to 5.
Yeah, something I want to point out is that is Myers' first, and Barron does not have any tonight. That's 2 of Connersville's bigger scorers most of the time. Pretty low in the scoring column, if none.
Carson has it on the wing. He's going to try to get it inside. That's going to be kicked by Josh. Good defense right there by Josh Williams. .5:43 left to play in this third quarter. The Spartans find themselves up 5, 25-20. That is number 4, Keaton Mikesell, that has it. He's going to try to drive inside, throw it over to Henry. Henry's corner 3 up, no good, left it long. Rebound by Josh. Josh full court press to Barron. Barron just tried to throw one up. He was already under the basket. It didn't get it to go. Mikesell comes down with the rebound, throws it over to Lundy. Lundy over to Harmon. Harmon down low to Terrell. Terrell got his 2 points to go. He now has 6 tonight. Pulls this ball game back to a 3-point ball game.
Yeah, that was a good baseline drive by Terrell. Really just kind of took over there. And, just kind of took over.
Myers has it at the top of the key. He's going to throw it over to Josh. Josh gets a ball screen, drives inside, throws it up off the glass. No good. Rebound by Harmon. Harmon throws it out to Mikesell. As the Knights are on the attack, he throws it over to Lundy. Lundy throws it back up to Mikesell. Mikesell passes it over to Harmon. Harmon over to Henry. Henry back up top to Mikesell.
Yeah, the Knights have not been slow about getting the ball up the court tonight after a rebound or passing the ball back in.
tipped right there by Barron. Good steal by, or excuse me, tipped by Myers. Steal by Barron. Throws it over to Myers. He dribbles it back out. Kicks it out to Josh Williams at the deep top of the key. As we see a pretty good fight down there between James and number 50, Caleb Harmon of the Northeastern Knights.
Yeah, that battle's getting pretty aggressive down low. I expect to see a foul called at some time.
Barron took a three, no good, left it long, rebound by James. James threw up a little hook shot under the basket. He got it to go. That's going to be James's 10th point of the night. He's in double digits already, and we're just 4 minutes into this third quarter.
Yeah, that's back-to-back games. James has found himself in double digits.
Henry has it. That's on James, and that was a little soft.
Yeah, they call that on James.
Yep, that's going to be on James Williams. That's going to be his third, team's third of the half. You don't like to see that call right there. Looked a little soft from up here, but maybe we had a bad angle on it.
Yeah, the cheer block is kind of in our way tonight, but ultimately, it's a tough game. You like to see the calls staying tough. We've seen that a couple times this year where the first half has been, pretty rough, and then the second half it gets real soft and touchy. So you just hope that's not the case tonight.
Oh, yeah, as you see,
that was
Braxton Myers just go right through. I believe that's number 10.
Braxton's third
Landon
team score.
Scarrett.
Yeah, he just plowed him over.
Still in football mode a little bit as he just went right through Landon.
Yeah, arms fully extended, just kind of ran into him and ran him over.
Ball being inbounded.
It
looked like he just stepped over the line.
No, he called timeout. I don't know about that. It looked like he was stepping over the line before he called the timeout, but Northeastern.
We're going to have a 30-second timeout right here by Northeastern. Really good setup of the press just out of nowhere. I mean, Connersville hasn't pressed all night, and then boom, they're right into it.
Yeah, you don't see Connersville press a whole lot. They've done it a few odd times this year, but for the most part, they play their man-to-man help side, but they've stepped away from it tonight, and they've had to get creative with this Knights team.
Yeah, that's a really good Knights team coming in tonight. We mentioned earlier they're 18-4, really good ball club. They came into the bowl last year. Connersville barely won that game. I think a lot of Connersville fans thought that would be an easy game because it was in the bowl, but really good job by Northeastern last year to come into the bowl and make some noise.
Yeah, Northeastern isn't making this an easy one this year.
No, they're not. Spartans still find themselves up 5. As you see a steal right there by Lucas Barron on the inbound pass. He gave it up to Josh. Josh hands it off tried to get it off to Myers. That ball found its way out of bounds. It's going to remain Spartan basketball. It was tipped by a Knight in the area. Josh to inbound. He throws over to Barron in the corner. Barron back up to Josh. Josh is going to throw it over to Gavin. Gavin in the corner to Taco. Taco got it inside 20. To Josh. It's going to be
number 20. That'd be Scarrett. That'll be his first, I believe. Yep. His first, team's second of the half. And not sure what's going on here. They called somebody the score. Oh, that's not basketball related.
Number 1, Carson Terrell checks back into this ball game for Caleb Harmon. Looks like we have a
maybe it is
a break in action.
Oh wow!
Looks like they're calling a Connersville fan out of the stadium.
Yeah.
Looks like that's Connersville.
Yeah, that'll be a Connersville fan coming out of the game.
It looks like they are going to make him. All right, well, they're just talking to him. Man, it looks like they're going to make him leave.
Yeah, the official asked for an escort out of that gentleman at the arena, so he will not be coming back tonight. Not sure if there's a technical involved there, or I don't know how that works.
Looks like both Connersville and Northeastern's ADs working together there. Either way, we're going to resume play. Connorsville still up 5, 27-22. It's going to be Connorsville ball under the basket. Gavin Pearson takes another one from 3. No good, left it short. He is 2 for 4 on the night.
Yeah, I'll say that.
And it looks like they are going to call that out of bounds on number 20, Carson Scarrett.
Yeah, good call there by the official paying attention to the line.
Good job right there by the Spartans to find number 32, Braxton Myers, down low. That's going to be his 3rd point of the night as Northeastern pushed that one right there. Terrell had it on the block, but good job by Braxton Myers to get back in on this help side. Landon had it. He passed it over. We can't really see who has it in the corner. That was Mikesell, excuse me. Threw it inside to Terrell. Terrell inside to Lube. Lube kicks it out to Mikesell. Over to, it is Carson. Carson looks inside to Terrell. Terrell drives up, gets it to go. Make that 2 more for him. He has 8 tonight. Score here is 29-24 with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to play. Spartans look to get it inside. They're going to call a foul on, I believe, number 20, Carson Scarrett.
That'll be Scarrett's 2nd, team's 4th of the half.
Number 50, Caleb Harmon, checks back into the game for the Knights. Looks like also number 12, Michael Henry, will also check back into this one. Josh to inbound, and he throws it over to Barron in the corner. Barron up top to Gavin. Gavin across the key to Taco. Taco inside to Myers. Myers dribbles it out and throws it across to Barron. Barron shot fake, drives inside, picks it up, goes up with it again. He's going to get fouled. And I believe they're going to call that one on number 1, Carson Terrell. He was in the area. Yep, it's going to be him. It's going to be his 3rd foul. Team's 5th of the half. Team's 4th, excuse me, of the half.
Yeah, Lucas comes into this game shooting the free throw at 79%.
Barron's first free throw up and good.
He
now has 1 point tonight.
Yeah, like I said earlier, surprising to find him and Myers, excuse me, not having a lot of points in this game tonight.
Barron missed his 2nd one. Spartans are now up 6, 30-24. Lube has it on the wing. He throws it back up to Mikesell. Mikesell over to Henry. Henry tries to get it inside. He gives it over to Lube. Lube quickly swings to Mikesell. Mikesell back over to Harmon in the corner. Harmon skip passes it up to Mikesell. He's going to throw it over to Lube. Lube gets a ball screen. He's going to drive inside, try to get it to Terrell, and that is going to be another turnover right there by Northeastern. They now have 7 turnovers on the night as we see James Williams checking into this ball game for Lucas Barron. Josh Williams bringing the ball across the timeline for the Spartans. He's going to throw it over to Taco. Taco's corner 3 up, good. Good shot right there by Taco. He has 3 tonight.
The net.
I'll say it looks like we may have a time. Oh, Blaine Hornsby just going to run out there and fix it real quick. Not something you see every game. I don't even think the officials noticed it. They were busy down here. As Harmon has that one poked away. Henry has it. He throws it over to Mikesell. 52 seconds left to play in this 3rd quarter. Spartans find themselves up 9 once again. Terrell has it on the wing. He throws it over to, that's Harmon. Harmon back over to Henry. Henry up to Mikesell. Mikesell takes a quick 3. It's no good. Hit every part of the rim. Josh Williams comes down with the rebound. And we are coming up on 30 seconds left to play in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, you imagine the Spartans will try to hold for the last shot here.
Josh across the court to Gavin. Gavin holding it. He has a count. He starts to dribble. He retreat dribbles, throws it over to Myers. Myers has it on the wing. We have no count from the official. With 10 seconds left, Josh has it up top. Josh is going to drive inside, spin to the basket, puts up an underhand layup, does not get it to go. Lube has it. Lube going coast to coast, throws one up. Does not get his running layup to go. He shot that from about their own volleyball line. But at the end of 3, the Spartans find themselves up 9, 33-24. Cam, what's something you saw in that third quarter that you liked from the Spartans?
They spread the scoring out. Braden Pearson came in and hit a big 3. They started hitting their free throws a little bit better, but something I want to point out is the start this second half, the score is 24-17. Connersville scored what would be 9 in that quarter, or in the third quarter, and Northeastern scored 7. So there has not been a quarter so far in this game that the Spartans have been outscored in. And, sometimes teams get up and, they fall apart in the fourth quarter. We've seen it happen with this Spartan team, and we've seen it happen to teams the Spartans have played this year. So they just got to keep their head together and just keep playing the ball they're playing.
Yeah, if you're Coach Brown right here in this huddle, you got to be hounding one word, and that's rebounding.
Right.
If you're Connersville, Northeastern's had way too many second opportunities here. They may not have hit all their shots, but still too many second chance opportunities, let alone in that third quarter, not even counting the first half. It seemed like Northeastern had more second chances that quarter than they did the whole first half.
Right.
Poorly job on the defensive rebounding side of the ball from the Spartans.
Yeah, that's something they cannot afford. They're only up by 9 here. That is not a lot. That's only 3 possessions, and this is a very sharp-shooting Knights team. So you think they get 3 quick turnovers, come down, hit quick, 3 quick threes, and they're right back in this thing.
Gavin brings it across the timeline, throws it over to Josh. Josh splits a couple of defenders, and they're going to call a foul on number 40, Grant Lube.
Yeah, that was
his third, team's 5th of the night.
That was that pressure. We haven't seen it. We saw it early in the first quarter, but we really haven't seen it since. But here to start the fourth quarter, they are definitely bringing it.
Taco has it in the corner. As you see Josh Williams hit the floor hard. That's either going to be on number 50, and that is going to be on number 50, Caleb Harmon. That's going to be his third, team 6th. One more foul, and the Spartans will be shooting the 1-on-1 the rest of the night. Josh to inbound it, throws it over to Gavin. Gavin has it on the wing, throws it inside to Myers. Myers makes a move, shot fake, goes up with it, and one. Basket good. Foul on number 50, Caleb Harmon. Myers has 5 points tonight. Harmon has 4 fouls. Myers will only have 1 free throw here due to the made basket. But, you look over, that's 7 fouls. The Spartans will be shooting the 1-on-1 the rest of the way out.
Yeah,
he gets it to go.
Give him 6 on the night. Like you said, a 1-on-1 opportunity from here on out for the Spartans. That's going to be huge. And, a couple guys for Northeastern are close to fouling out as well.
Spartans are up 12. Terrell, quick drive, foul, number 32, Braxton Myers. That is Myers' 4th foul. That'll be a huge loss for the Spartans if he fouls out. You got to think that's who Lucas Barron will be checking in for. It is. Barron comes in for Myers. Myers will take a seat. Sure, he won't be out long. Yes, he has 4 fouls, but, he is a really key piece to this defense.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Defensively, him and James Williams really hold down the fort together. You cannot afford to have him pick up that 5th foul, but you really can't afford to have him stay out of the game for too long if they go on a scoring streak.
Little shot right there by Harmon. He got it up and to go. Josh Williams, full court pass over to Taco. Taco finds Barron on the inside. Barron goes up with it, gets it to go. Add 2 more for Barron. He has 3 on the night. And with 7 minutes and 4 seconds left to play, the Spartans are back up 12, 38-26. Mike Sell threw one up. He did not get it to go. Josh to Barron. Barron gets his layup to go. Barron has a quick 4 points. The Spartans are on a quick little run right here as they find themselves up 14, 40-26 with 6:55 left to go. It looks like we're going to have a timeout on the floor. It's going to be a full timeout for Northeastern. Cam, we just talked about it, the rebounding. Forget the rebounding. They did a good job right there to start that fourth quarter. A nice little offensive run by the Spartans, and nevertheless, Lucas Barron.
Yeah, Lucas Barron really stepped up there. Quick 4 consecutive points for the Spartans. That gives him 5 on the night. We talked about him and Braxton Myers kind of quiet in the scoring column on the night, but Braxton now has 6 and Barron now has 5. So they've picked it up here late in this game when it has really mattered, and that gives the Spartans a 14-point lead.
Yeah, you know, we talked about Braxton Myers and his ability to give up his body. He has 10 charges on the year. The next guy is Braden Pearson, Taco, with 8. Together they have 18. The Spartans only have 29 charges overall through the season. You know, they make up for more than well over half of the charges for the Spartans defense.
Yeah, and those are 2 guys that are definitely not afraid to sacrifice their bodies when it comes down to it, and that has paid dividends this year to the Spartan team.
It's going to be Knights basketball. Lube checks it in to Mikesel. Mikesel bringing it across the timeline. He dribbles it, picks it up, throws it inside to Terrell. Terrell been a big piece tonight for this Knights team. He gets it stripped away, and they're going to have to call a foul. Yep, they do. They're going to call that one on number 1, Carson Terrell. He grabbed the hand of James Williams. Terrell now has 4 fouls, and James Williams will go to the line to shoot the one-on-one opportunity.
Yeah, with that being Terrell's 4th foul, you see him come in and Lundy check in. That gives the Knights 8 fouls, 2 more, and Spartans will be shooting a double bonus.
James Williams, only a 40% free throw shooter as he missed that one right there. He's not shooting it quite as well as you would hope so. He's one of the ones, if you're Northeastern, that you would want at the line. Carson has it. He's going to throw it over to Lube. Lube over to Mikesel. Mikesel looks inside to Harmon. Harmon has it in the corner, throws it over to Mikesel. Mikesel clears it back up top to Lundy. Lundy hands it off to Mikesel, who throws it back over to Lundy on the wing. Lundy back up to Lube. Lube over to Mikesel, who has it on the wing. Mikesel throws it inside to Harmon. Harmon trying to make a move. He's going to be fouled. Actually, no, they're going to call. No, they are going to call number 42, James Williams. They pointed at 4th. They pointed at Barron. That is, as you just said, James's 4th foul, team's 5th. As here we go, we see Braxton Myers set to check back into this ball game. I didn't think he would be out long. He was only out for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes tops. You know, Coach Brown had to say, you got to be careful going back into this game as early as he did.
Yeah, he has to be. You know, James Williams is also another guy with 4 fouls right now. Him and Myers are both in jeopardy of fouling out with 1 more.
Carson has it. He throws it over to Lundy, or excuse me, that was Harmon. Harmon took the top of the key 3. He got it to go. He has 5 points tonight as Northeastern pulls that trap back up, also pulls this game to 11. Myers has it as he's going to slow it down and throw it over to Josh. Josh now has it deep at the top of the key. He drives inside, had it poked away, thought he got fouled, no call. Mikesel comes down with it, throws over to Carson. Carson's going to get called for a travel. Yep. Northeastern thought they were going to get a break right there on the foul called. Ultimately, there's a travel call, another turnover right there. As we're going to see a timeout, full timeout. Connorsville, Coach Brown not happy with that little 5-0 run that Northeastern went on right there.
Yeah, that was a good call, though, by the official to make sure that he got the travel. Don't remember exactly who it was, or not sure exactly who it was, but they definitely did commit the travel violation there. And like I said, just a good heads-up call by the officiating crew.
Good call right there by them. Look over at the turnovers. Connorsville they only have 6 turnovers through this game. You look over at Northeastern. Northeastern has 9. You got to think turnovers have been a big part in this 11-point lead.
Yeah, they absolutely have been. The Northeastern Knights came into this game averaging right at 12. Connorsville came into this game averaging right at 10. So, you know, both teams still short of that. Northeastern is on their way to being right on target. But, you know, Connersville is still doing a good job taking care of the ball when they need to.
Yeah, another thing Coach Brown's got to keep hounding into him is rebound, rebound, rebound. If there's one thing that you don't want, it is second chance opportunities for the Northeastern Knights. You have a pretty comfortable lead, up 11. Still a lot of game to be played left, though, in this one. Northeastern pulls that full court press back up. They get it inside to Myers. Myers getting double team dribbles out of it, finds Josh. Josh is going to pull it out. Gets a ball screen from Barron. He kicks it over to Gavin. Gavin back up to Taco. Taco back across to Gavin. Gavin inside to Myers. Myers has it. He's guarded by 4. He somehow splits through him. Gets the running layup to go. He now has 8 tonight.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play by Myers. Just kind of split the middle.
Harmon also split the middle, missed it. Another opportunity, second chance opportunity. Carson missed his shot. We just mentioned it. That's something you don't want to see if you're a Connersville fan. Another offensive rebound by Northeastern.
Yeah, they do have a 13-point lead, but that's just something you cannot afford to give up right now.
Spin and the bucket from Myers. He now has 10 tonight. Good couple moves right there by Myers on back-to-back possessions to put the Spartans up 15, 44-29. That is Day Lundy.
And call foul on number 40, Lube, I believe.
Yep, that is also Lube's 4th foul, team's 9th. Right there, that was on Braxton Myers. Story of the night, Braxton not afraid to give up his body. Gets a charging foul right there on Lube. As Josh has it, he's going to throw it over to Taco. Taco running layup, he gets it to go. Taco has 5 tonight. Mikesell over to Lube. Lube, wing 3, he gets it to go. Lube now has 9 tonight. Josh over to Gavin. Gavin brings it across the timeline, throws it over to Barron. Barron over to Taco in the corner. Taco being trapped. He splits through those 2 guys as he's going to dribble it back out there. Now face guarding Josh Williams. Something Coach Brown mentioned teams are going to start doing, but when they do that, you got to look to your other 3 guys, and James Williams, Braxton Myers, and Lucas Barron to start scoring the basketball. Josh dribbles it, throws it inside to Barron. Barron up, gets it to go. Through contact. Barron now has 7 tonight. As he Lube 3, same spot. This time doesn't get it to go. Rebound by the Spartans. Taco Pearson had that one. He threw it over to Josh Williams. And with 3:33 left to play in this one, the Spartans find themselves up 48-32. Myers has it in the corner. He's going to drive baseline spin, kick it out to Taco. Taco's going to reset the offense up to Gavin. Gavin over to Josh on the wing. Josh inside to Myers. Myers gets bumped, kicks it over to Taco. Taco, corner 3, it's up, it's no good. He left it short. Looked like Barron got pushed right there. No call. Lube has it. He throws it back up to Mikesell. Mikesell over to Lube. Lube inside to Terrell. Terrell back up to Lube. Over to Mikesell. Mikesell finds, I believe that's that is Carson. Carson back up to Mikesell. As it looks like Northeastern's going to reset the offense as he throws it back over to Carson on the wing. Carson inside to Harmon. Harmon working on Josh Williams. Up, does not get it to go. Rebound by Lucas. Lucas, full court pass to Myers. Myers, spin, shot fake, kicks it over to Barron. Barron over to Taco. Taco back up top to Barron, across to Josh at the top of the key. Josh over to Taco. Taco back up to Barron. Barron over to Myers. Myers has it on the wing. Myers has it over to Gavin. Gavin hands it off to Barron. Barron up to Myers.
Yeah, Spartans really doing a good job here, just keeping the ball, trying to not get fouled. Just want to get this game over with as
Josh Williams gets fouled. They're going to call that on, I believe, number 4, Keaton Mikesell.
Be Mikesell's first.
Yep, that's going to be foul number 4, Keaton Mikesell. It's going to be his first, team's 10th.
It's a double bonus
with that being said, there's
Josh.
2 guaranteed free throws coming up from Josh.
Josh shoots a free throw at 82% coming into this game.
Looks like Josh is at the line shooting 2.
Josh makes his first. That'll put him at 8 on the night. Like we said, Josh, an 82% free throw shooter coming into this game. Spartans find themselves up by 17 now. His second one up. It is good. Give him 9. Spartans grow that lead to 18.
Mikesell has it. He throws over to Lube. Lube couldn't handle it. He threw it, or he dropped it out of bounds.
That's 10 turnovers on the night for Northeastern, 2 short of their average.
Connersville only has 6 turnovers tonight.
Right.
Something you gotta be happy with if you're a Spartan fan.
Yeah, that's pretty on the low side for the Spartans. They don't turn the ball over a whole lot as Josh Williams gets fouled going up for the shot by Lundy. That'd be Lundy's first, team's 11th. Josh back at the free throw line. Opportunity to put him in double digits. He has 2 guaranteed free throws.
See Blaine Hornsby set to check into this one. Looks like he's going to come in for Josh. That first one is up. It's good. Josh has 10 on the night. As I believe we're going to have a timeout called. 30-second timeout by Northeastern. Cam, Spartans find themselves up 19, 51-32 with 2 minutes left to play in this ball game. Look over at the fouls. Northeastern has 10 fouls called on them. Connersville only has 5. Really big right there that Connersville still has 1 to give before they are in the bonus with 2 minutes left to play in this second half.
Yeah, and that's something I don't expect to change. You know, Connersville with a 19-point lead with right at 2 minutes left to play in this game. Just going to try and be conservative as possible, you know, kill a lot of time. Just take care of the basketball. I think that'll be the biggest thing here in this game.
Looks like Connersville is going to go with Josh Williams, Taco Pearson, Gavin Pearson, Braxton Myers, and then Blaine Hornsby just checked in to continue this ball game. We have 2 minutes left to play. Spartans are up 19. I mean, you look over at it, Connersville really only has 2 guys in Braxton Myers and James Williams, 2 big defensive guys in foul trouble. You look over at Northeastern, they have 3 guys in Terrell, Lube, and Harmon, 3 of their starters in foul trouble.
Yep.
Josh's free throw up, and no good. He missed that one left and long. Rebound by Northeastern. Mikesell brings it across the timeline. He's going to throw it over to Lube. Lube over to Terrell. Terrell back into Harmon. Harmon tried to get it inside. They're going to have to call a foul on, they get that about 3 different people. They are going to call it on Josh Williams.
23, they'll call that Hornsby. It'll be Hornsby's second, team 6th. 1 more foul for the Spartans and they'll be shooting the bonus.
They get it into Terrell. Terrell has it on the block, makes a quick move, goes over Hornsby, does not get it to go. Ball being fumbled around. It was off of a Northeastern player's knee. It's going to become Spartan basketball with 1:40 left as we see a whole roster change. That is number 3, Day Lundy. Number 44, number 44 is Sam White. Number 30, Nolan Drake. Number 10, Landon Sascarit. And number 12, Michael Henry III, all checking in. As you see Northeastern taking their seniors off of this floor for what is the last time their high school career.
Yeah, as you see a complete change for Connersville as well, minus Blaine Hornsby. You see Cody Naylor, Xander McHenry, Brady Cloyd, and number 12, Jaden Peterson all coming into this game for the Spartans.
Peterson has it, throws it over to Xander McHenry. McHenry brings it across the timeline, throws it over to Brady Cloyd. Cloyd dribbles it left, throws it over to Peterson. Peterson has it. He's going to pass it over to McHenry. McHenry back up top to Hornsby. Hornsby just going to sit up and hold it. He's got to count, got to make a move. Throws it over to Cloyd. Cloyd guarded by Henry. Cloyd across to Hornsby. Looks like nobody's going to bring any pressure. Now it looks like Sam White will apply a little, that he is going to get a count. We have 54 seconds left to play in this ball game. Naylor has it. He's going to dribble it inside, pass it over to McHenry. McHenry dribbles inside, picks up his dribble, throws it over to Hornsby. A little game of keep away right here by the Spartans. Cloyd has it. He's going to pass it over to Naylor. Naylor hands it off to Hornsby. Hornsby passes it over to Peterson. Peterson dribbles, throws it over to Naylor. Naylor back cut, and they're going to call Naylor on the charging foul, I believe. Yep, they're going to call number 14, Cody Naylor on the foul. That's going to be Naylor's first, team's 7th. Now on a defensive foul by the Spartans, the Knights will be in the 1-on-1 opportunity. But with 22 seconds left to play, you'd like to see the Spartans just play good, solid defense here and no fouls.
Yeah, that's what I expect them to do. You know, just finish out this game strong. Just keep it clean. You know, you've had a good game. Leave here the final regular season game of the year.
Henry goes up with it. It's no good. Rebound by number 30. They're going to call a foul on, I think they're going to call that one on Naylor too.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, they are. Naylor picks up 2 quick fouls, and it looks like number 30, Nolan Drake, will go to the line for 2 free throws with 3.4 seconds left to play on this game clock. Spartans have a very comfortable lead at 51-32. Drake's first free throw up and good. He has 1 point on the night. Pulls that lead to 18 for the Spartans. Waiting one more. It's up. It is no good. Missed it right. Rebound. We're going to have a whistle here. And I believe they're going to call a lane violation. Yes, they are. That was on number 44, Sam White. Or excuse me, that was on a Spartan.
Yeah, that was on a Spartan. I think they're calling it Xander. Xander McHenry, number 20.
Excuse me, number 30, Nolan Drake, will have another free throw upcoming. Another chance, you know, it's little in a game like this right now with 2.6 seconds left, but, you know, I mean, that's another opportunity for another point. He misses it right there in a close game. That could be a key. Anyway, your Spartans win the final game of the regular season pretty sure handedly, 51-33. Cam, good game right there by the Spartans. You know, turnovers, Northeastern ended with 10, 2 shy of their average. Connersville only 6 turnovers. You know, it wasn't looking good for the Spartans early on in this game. Northeastern jumped out to an early 6-0 run. The Connersville Spartans answered with a 9-2 run. And seemingly once they got that lead, they never looked back. Cam, final score 51-33. Let's get tonight's scoring recap.
Yeah, we'll start off with Northeastern, and leading the way was number 40, Grant Lube, with 9. Following him was Carson Terrell with 8. Mike Sell and Harmon both had 5 apiece. And then you had Scarrett with 3, and Drake and number 10, Landon Scarrett, with 2 apiece. And look over at Connersville, and leading the way was 3 seniors, Josh Williams, Braxton Myers, and James Williams with 10 apiece. Following in suit was Lucas Barron with 7, Gavin Pearson with 6, Braden Pearson with 5, and Jaden Peterson with 3.
Guys, this has been the regular season. It's been a fun one to call. Connersville, very, very good year. They finished the year 18-4. Looking at the upcoming games, we're at tournament time. We're at sectional time. March 1st, Connersville travels to Greensburg in the first round of the IHSAA Sectional 29. They play Lawrenceburg. Guys, unfortunately, sectionals, we will not be on the call the rest of the way out. This was the last game. Buy your tickets, show out, support Connersville. They could use a pretty big crowd to this sectional, and then hopefully travel back down to Washington for the regional again this year. It's been a fun one to call alongside Cam Schonfeld all year. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been an SSN broadcast.